this week. Action 10 News is next.
Now, the Wabash Valley's most watched newscast with Mark Allen, Patrice Dayton, Chief Meteorologist Kevin Orbert, and Greg Amsinger Sports. This is Action 10 News, WTHI.
There is a new start for some students who lost their school last year. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Mark Allen.
And I'm Patrice Dayton. The Vigo County School Board closed Crawford Elementary at the end of last school year, citing declining enrollment and an out-of-date facility. Well, now Crawford students are settling in at several other Vigo County schools. Action
10's Christy Brown joins us with more on how students are coping after Crawford. Christy?
Well, Mark and Patrice, as you mentioned, students from Crawford are all students at new schools this year. As we found out in tonight's top story, the adjustment is going better than many expected. Mrs. Foster's second grade class is using pencils and crayons to express what they expected their first full day in school.
Oh, good job.
If you asked Farrington Grove principal Rick Minestrina about his expectations, he would say he's pleasantly surprised. Integrating nearly 70 students from Crawford Elementary has gone more smoothly than he imagined.
I think a healing time has taken, and everyone's ready to look forward and to move forward and make this the best year for their children.
Farrington Grove was the school most affected by the closing of Crawford Elementary at the end of last school year. Farrington Grove took on more Crawford students than any other Vigo County school. That had some parents up in arms at the end of last year, imagining crowded classrooms and overwhelmed teachers. But the reality, Minestrina says, is that Farrington Grove still has room to grow.
This was a classroom. It was a first grade classroom last year.
Several available classroom spaces are empty. Aside from changing some rooms around, there have been no major adjustments necessary at Farrington Grove. Teacher Angela Foster had to make some adjustments after coming from a classroom in Crawford. But she says knowing what the future holds has eased some of her initial fears.
The concerns were necessary, because the parents and the children, they were concerned about where they're going. But so far, I think it's turned out really nicely.
Parents of some former Crawford students are reserving judgment until more time has passed.
Yeah, there's still a whole school year to go. We'll see.
Principal Minestrina says for their part, the children have escaped controversy and are quickly becoming a part of the Farrington Grove family.
Hi, Gabrielle. Hi, Gabby.
Principal Minestrina says they have noticed a sharp increase in kindergarten enrollment since last year. He's considering adding another kindergarten class, but otherwise there are no concerns about overcrowding. Mark, back to you.
Thanks, Christy. If you spent any time outdoors today, you know it was a hot one. Live Top Red 10 Storm Team meteorologist Kevin Orpert joins us now, live with a look at what's happening right now. Kevin?
All right, thanks a lot, Mark. Hey, how do you like this hat? This is my German hat because, believe it or not, even though it's quite warm outside, we're ready for the Oktoberfest. Now, coming up, I'll let you know when the Oktoberfest is going to be going on. Plus, I'll tell you about a change coming up for the Oktoberfest this year. So if you always plan to go to that, you'll want to be sure to be tuned. Outside, it continues to be quite warm. There's some ball practice going on over at Chauncey Rose. And the temperature right now is 88 degrees. Hazy sunshine and a southeast breeze to about 10 miles per hour. Heat and humidity will continue, but what about the chances for rain? We'll talk about that and a little German festival kinds of things as well coming up, so stay tuned. Patrice?
An outbreak of West Nile virus in southern Indiana will not put the brakes on an upcoming rodeo. The big show scheduled for this Friday and Saturday night in Daviess County is just 20 miles away from where the disease has left at least 40 horses dead. Action 10 Southern Indiana Bureau Chief Mike Grant reports the vets are hoping they can soon bring the disease under control.
Bewell was the name of this horse. We showed him to you on Monday. He's dead now. One of the latest victims of West Nile in Daviess County, where vets say the disease is still going strong.
We'll treat about the same load we're seeing each day, 5 to 6 new cases each day.
The West Nile outbreak is beginning to give some new indication. About 60% of the sick horses are those used to pull buggies.
Amish farmers say that maybe it's the stress factor. The buggy horse is on the road a lot.
While vets are treating the sick horses, those not showing signs of the virus are receiving vaccinations.
We have most of the horses vaccinated with one dose. We're still in that waiting period for that vaccine to take a hold and give protection to the horses, which is probably at least another 30 days off.
That may be a while off, but down the road in Bicknell, where a rodeo is planned for this weekend, concerns about the West Nile outbreak are minimal.
We're, of course, concerned about the virus itself totally in the community, but we're not concerned about the virus and the rodeo. Those animals have been vaccinated. They're coming from out of state, out of county, and of course, to travel, they have to have certain vaccinations in place.
The rodeo may still be a go, but the outbreak of West Nile here shows no signs of stopping. And it may be weeks before the vaccines finally take effect and bring the disease under control. In Davies County, I'm Mike Grant, Action 10 News, WTHI.
There have been no reports of West Nile in humans in southern Indiana, and there has been some concern over West Nile and cattle. Cows can get the disease, but it is not fatal to them. And humans cannot get the disease by eating meat nor drinking milk. The only way to catch West Nile is by being bitten by an infected mosquito.
A Brazil, Indiana man is dead after fire destroys his home. 42-year-old Roy Taylor was killed during the fire early yesterday evening. An autopsy on the body showed Taylor died of asphyxiation. Indiana State Police are looking into what might have caused yesterday's fire. Your help is needed to track down a man police say robbed a bank. On Monday morning, police say a white male walked into the First State Bank in Brazil and demanded money from a cashier. Witnesses told police the man may have had an accomplice. The man is described as 5 foot 8 inches tall, 180 pounds, wearing a dark blue long-sleeve shirt, dark blue pants, and a blue baseball cap. Police say they're still looking for eyewitnesses to interview in this case. If you were near the First State Bank of Brazil Monday and have information, call the Brazil Police Department or call Crime Stoppers at 238-STOP.
The bids are in for a new jail in a southern Indiana county. The demolition work that started earlier this summer is done. Now, Davies County officials are getting ready to build a new jail. The county accepted a bid for a little less than $16 million to build a new 200-bed facility and renovate the old jail complex. The work is expected to start this fall. Police in the Wabash Valley need the public's help in getting rid of an illegal crop. Indiana State Police are asking hunters, farmers, and anyone else who goes out in the woods to be on the lookout for marijuana plants. Police say to keep an eye out for evidence of illegal cultivation, including 5-gallon buckets, bags of fertilizer, or other suspicious items. Last year, 30,000 marijuana plants were harvested by state police, a value of $59 million. Anyone who comes across a pot patch should contact the nearest state police post.
Coming up, here's your chance to learn about a special hospital that treats kids with cancer. We'll tell you when we come back.
And if you've been looking for an alternative to prescription drugs to take away your pain, well, you may need to be hit with a beam of light. You'll hear how it works next in Health Watch on Action 10 News, WTHI.
Closed captioning of Action 10 News, WTHI, is brought to you by Terre Haute First National Bank.
Chi Diesel presents the 3rd annual Diesel Extravaganza 2002, August 23rd and 24th at the Wabash Valley Fairgrounds in Terre Haute. Witness awesome diesel drags, pickup truck and tractor pulls, 4-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive dualies, and an incredible display of diesel power. On Friday night only, see the first ever ATPA National Championship for diesel 8,000-pound super stock pickup trucks. Don't miss the Diesel Extravaganza 2002, August 23rd and 24th at the Wabash Valley Fairgrounds. For more information, call 1-800-669-1593 or log on at www.chidiesel.com. Brought to you by Chi Diesel.
McDonald's knows that variety is the spice of life. That's why we made our new taste menu. So go ahead, try something different, something tangy, something sweet, something made hot, fresh, and right to order.
Try the great new taste of McDonald's breaded pork sandwich, a big, satisfying taste made just for you. Part of the new taste menu at McDonald's. Make it a meal and add fries and a Coke.
We love to see you smile.
This fall, something funny's happening after 60 Minutes.
Here we are.
It's a full hour of comedy, starting with a new series from the producers of Frasier.
You seduced this woman last night?
She bought me dinner. It was the polite thing to do.
Graham and Alice. Then Becker moves to a brand new night. He's the one guy on Sunday even friendlier than Andy Rooney.
Some idiot of a cop is lying in wait for me, and he tickets me for no rear view mirror. I'm going the wrong way down a one-way street. There's nothing behind me.
Graham and Alice, followed by Becker. It all happens CBS Sundays this fall.
Health Watch with Patrice Dayton is brought to you by Westridge Healthcare Center.
In tonight's Action 10 News Health Watch, how's that sore ankle or lower back pain? As Americans of all ages take part in sports and outdoor fun this summer, we often aggravate old injuries or create new ones. Injuries that can be pretty painful. But there is now a way to avoid medications or even surgery for that pain. A new treatment that's already a hit in Europe is now getting some attention in the U.S. With 1,455 hours of sunlight over the summer, it's easier to get in shape, stay in shape, or simply have fun. However, muscle aches, sprained ankles, and arthritis can slow us down. But now, Americans are finding relief for their pain with an infrared light technology called photonic stimulation.
With the use of this infrared approach, we can now relieve pain syndromes that are very severe with a minimum of treatment.
The thermal imaging processor shows how the body is responding to treatment by detecting heat patterns in the body. The change in colors indicates the source of pain and whether the treatment is working.
Had 2 back surgeries that neither gave me any relief. I thought there was no hope for me to ever get better. I was asked if I wanted to try this photon stimulator. We tried it. The first day, I'd say almost immediately, I felt a difference. I think it's been about 2.5 months, 3 months of treatment. I mean, I'm walking for an hour now with my dog. I couldn't walk for 5 minutes without pain.
Some doctors say the infrared therapy can be used effectively to treat chronic conditions like arthritis, as well as injuries and everyday aches and pains. The San Diego Padres baseball team uses the therapy in its training room, and it was used by the U.S. track and field team at the last Summer Olympics. Photonic stimulation is new to the United States, but the low-level laser therapy has been used successfully in both Europe and Asia for over 30 years. The simple light treatment is not the answer to every problem, but it may help you. Simply ask your doctor. That's tonight's Action 10 News Health Watch. Mark, back to you.
Thanks, Patrice. A special program note for you tonight. At 8 o'clock, WTHI-TV will air Time to Live, a St. Jude television special. You'll learn about the cancer hospital for kids located in Memphis, Tennessee. The show will be hosted by Marlo Thomas. Following Time to Live, a 2-hour episode of Big Brother will air from 9 until 11 p.m. After a few cooler days, the heat was turned back up today. What can we expect for the end of the week? Live Opera 10 Storm Team meteorologist Kevin Orpert has your forecast next.
Hey, Kevin, what's the weather gonna be like?
Mein Frauen, das Wetter ist heiß. Yeah?
Yeah!
Yeah, we'll be back.
It's clearance time at your Jeep dealer, where for a short time you can get 0% financing for up to 60 months on select 2002 Jeep Grand Cherokees. That's up to $6,800 in finance savings. Or you can choose a big $3,000 cash allowance. Plus now you get our new 7-year or 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. But you must hurry, because 60 months 0% financing or $3,000 cash allowances won't be around for long.
Furniture, one low price, your choice for just $7.99. Genuine Flex Steel sofas, love seats, and chairs with a lifetime warranty and a lifetime of comfort. Only at the Furniture Gallery, South 7th and US 41, Terre Haute.
Now, the Wabash Valley's most trusted and accurate local weather forecast with the live DOPRAD 10 Storm Team's Chief Meteorologist Kevin Orpert, certified by the American Meteorological Society.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if it's almost September, it means it must be time for the Oktoberfest. That's the way things work here in the Wabash Valley, and it's one of the greatest festivals, one of the most popular festivals in the area. And I'm going to be talking with somebody to let you know about how some changes are going on this year for the Oktoberfest. But in the meantime, it is a hot night out there tonight. We have generally muggy conditions, and look at the live DOPRAD 10 Doppler radar shows that there is no rain, even though we do have partly cloudy conditions. Now, that may be somewhat different by this time tomorrow night. It's 88 degrees out at the Terre Haute International Airport, 87 degrees in downtown Terre Haute. Dew points are into the mid to upper 70s, and so consequently, that's why you feel so muggy out there, and that's why it feels like it's 99 degrees when you step outside out of the air conditioning. A look at the live Top Rad 10 Futurecast shows that through the hours tonight, we're going to be okay. Partly cloudy conditions with an overnight low down to, about 72 or so. And then during the day on Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning, it looks all right. But look at that. The Futurecast indicates by tomorrow afternoon the possibility for some scattered thunderstorms. And so we have the possibility for scattered thunderstorms not only tomorrow late afternoon, but tomorrow night, and then into Friday and Friday night as well. We've got Kevin's Backyard Barbecue tomorrow night, and we have ball games on Friday night, so we're going to keep a real close watch on this. Partly cloudy, warm and humid for the overnight tonight, about 72 for the overnight low. And then hot and humid tomorrow. Don't be surprised if some afternoon storms develop, and of course, we'll keep you posted about that. And scattered thunderstorms are possible tomorrow night with an overnight low about 70 degrees. 7-day forecast is going to call for a day-to-day chance for some rain, actually over the next several days. Now, this is probably not a steady rain every day, but it does look as though we're going to have the chance for some rain as we get into the next several days and cooler weather toward the weekend. Tonight's weather quiz brought to you by Tufo and Spellman, your personal injury attorneys. Here it is. The moon is closer to the Earth when it rises. That's why it looks bigger, and it should be a very impressive moonrise tonight. But that's because the moon is closer. Is that true, or is that false? I'm talking now with Herr Walbring, and hello, sir. You're in charge of the Oktoberfest this year, and there's one really big change. It's not where it has been for the last several years.
That's correct. This year we're moving back to the Vigo County Fairgrounds. We haven't been there in 18 years, so we're going back to the fairgrounds. Just because of the 9/11, we can't be at a military establishment anymore. So we're back in the fairgrounds. It'll be September 6th and 7th, 13th and 14th. We'd like to see everybody down there. We have 4 great bands. We'll have a great time, great food. It's the best fest in the Midwest.
Yes, it is. A lot of people really look forward to that. And so, once again, it's down at the fairgrounds, so don't go to the armory because there won't be any, German things going on there.
No, we at the fairgrounds, we're looking for a big crowd, so please come down.
All right, well, thank you very much. And we'll look forward to the big Oktoberfest coming up beginning in September, the first weekend, September the 6th and the 7th. Well, Mark, Patrice, I've got my ancestors were German, actually German and Greek, and I don't know what else. But at any rate, I'm kind of in the German mood tonight, so I'll be back with the weather quiz answer coming up.
He looks cute in his little
He does,
getup.
yeah.
A quick note for water customers in Jasonville, Indiana. You are under a boil order until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Again, Jasonville water customers under a boil order until tomorrow afternoon.
Coming up, he's a state record holder who is the newest member of the Indiana State Sycamores.
Greg Amsinger has the story of ISU's Diamond in the Rough when we return on Action 10 News, WTHI.
A model's Hollywood tell-all, her famous affairs, then Salma's wedding dress, a Survivor X-rated past, and new star couples, XTT.
Wednesday night, only on WTHI.
Save on hundreds of handy items for you.
Hey, baby. It's your appetite. I say we get 2 Arby's sourdough melts for $3. Oh, yeah. Ooh, I know you want that, baby.
We have time?
That's why they invented drive-thru.
Get 2 Arby's sourdough melts for $3, only for a short time.
You want a bite?
Give in to your grown-up taste.
Now, the Wabash Valley's most watched newscast continues with Action 10 News WTHI Sports Director Greg Amsinger.
The
The Indiana State Sycamores were continuing their two-a-day regiment this morning and later this evening with a practice of 7. Players we've mentioned more than once before are the impact players like quarterback Julian Reese, safety Terrence Miles, defensive tackle Richard Harris, and running back Sidney Montford and So-So Didi. Yeah, we know them, but what about the solid recruiting class Coach McGuire put together in the offseason? How are they handling the transition from being a standout in high school to just another face in a helmet at ISU? Well, I had the chance to talk to one of the Sycamores' top freshmen who told me his high school stats were thrown out the window when he arrived in Terre Haute.
You kind of got to put it behind you because, you know, in high school, what you did didn't really mean a whole lot because you're just a freshman coming in here with guys that are a step ahead of you already. So you just got to do your best to try to learn the terminology and the offense and then put that out together on the field.
He's the most prolific passing quarterback in Indiana high school football history. His name is Jake Schiff, a freshman at ISU who threw for nearly 4,500 yards as a senior at Evansville Mater Dei. Now, after graduating with numerous state records, many wondered why Jake didn't end up at a Division I program.
There's been some knocks on me that I'm too short and don't have the talent to play at a high level like this. But, you know, I think I've always thought in my mind that I could. And, you know, I'm here at Indiana State. And Coach Anderson, you know, and Coach McGuire, I think, have really got the program headed in the right direction with Coach Anderson's new offense coming in. And I really felt comfortable talking to him and some of the players. And, you know, it just seemed like the right fit for me, and it's not too far away from home.
Although Jake will be watching from the sidelines this year, he believes he can help the future of this program continue to succeed. He's just happy his school looked beyond his height to determine his worth in college football.
Everybody's excited. I think it's going to be a good year for Indiana State football, and you know, everything's looking all right now, and hopefully things can just keep going in the right direction and we can improve on last year's record.
You're waiting for your shot.
Most definitely.
Another reminder, the Indiana State football season will kick off August 29th on the road against Western Michigan. The Sycamores will open their home schedule against Cumberland University September 7th. Well, here's a college football story for you. Valparaiso University's senior wide receiver Christopher Hayen is accused of putting a video camera inside a locker room used by the women's volleyball team. The result, the 21-year-old has been dismissed from the football team and could face a maximum penalty of nearly 4 years in prison. Well, we are only 52 hours and let's see here, about 35 and a half minutes away from the debut of two members to the Action 10 sports team. One of them you don't know yet. Her name is Chris Rose. The other has been around the block a few times here in Terre Haute. Former head football coach at Terre Haute North, Wayne Staley, will co-host Friday nights in the Zone. I'm sure you've seen him in the promo with me. You know, he makes fun of me, the whole makeup thing. Yeah, well, he rips on me. Get used to it. Coach Staley will be in prime form beginning this Friday night at 11 o'clock right here on WTHI. Some exciting things going on here at the sports department, and it all kicks off this Friday night. I cannot wait.
No pun intended on kicks off, of course.
Oh, of course not. I said it only, what, 3 times?
We'll be right back.
Sycamore, Chevrolet, Nissan, Hyundai, and commercial trucks in Terre Haute announces 0% financing on all remaining 2002 Chevy cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs. Choose between 0% financing or rebates of up to $3,000. See us online at SycamoreChevy.com. That's Sycamore Chevy, where you get good wrench service plus service and a body shop second to none. And 0% financing or the year's largest rebates on all remaining 2002 Chevys. Sycamore Chevy, south on U.S. Highway 41, Terre Haute.
The best part of back to school is going shopping.
I have all the kids together. They all have their list. Everything is here, all in one place.
Binders, folders, markers, gel pens, crayons. My teacher says I highlight too much. If there's something really, really cool, it's low price, then your mom won't say, no. Ooh, this is nice.
I have to look good for school.
For the first day of school, you just have to have new shoes.
The carts are pretty full, and they'll be ready for the first day.
Yeah, I like this. Sweet.
The show that spawned Riverdance. The power, the rhythm, the dance, and the music and song of Ireland's kingdom. This is The Spirit of Ireland, starring world and all-Ireland dance champions, musicians, and singers. The original Irish dance phenomenon, The Spirit of Ireland. Don't miss this powerful, authentic, all-Irish production.
Getting ready
ready to go back to school? Well, check out the all-new Action 10 News WTHI Back to School Health and Safety Guide. This fun-filled coloring book features safety tips from Terre Haute's police and fire departments and health tips from Terre Haute Regional Hospital's emergency room staff. And for mom and dad, special coupons with exclusive discounts. You can pick up the Action 10 News WTHI Back to School Health and Safety Guide at A Gathering Place, BJ's Electronic Connection, and Emmert Realty.
Kevin's live on location this evening. Has of course.
All right, thank you, Mark. Now, here's what we have, tonight's weather quiz, sponsored by Tifo and Spellman. Now, tonight the moon will rise. It's not quite full, but it certainly will look big. And because of the orbit around the Earth, the moon is actually closer to the Earth when it rises. Is that true or is that false? What do you guys think?
False. I say false, Kevin.
False? You know, you're right, Greg. It is false. Now, sometimes the moon is a little bit closer. It does orbit the Earth in a somewhat sort of elliptical orbit, but the moon is not really closer when it rises. It just looks that way. It's an optical illusion. Don't count on rain tonight, but count on rain by tomorrow, and as we get into the weekend. I'll have a further update coming up tonight at 11 on Action 10 News Night Watch. And don't forget the big Oktoberfest coming up on September the 6th and 7th and the 13th and 14th. And this year, it's at the Vigo County Fairgrounds. After not being there for many years, it's back at the fairgrounds.
Sounds like fun there, Kevin. Have fun. We'll see you back here for Night Watch. Good night.
Have a great evening.